There will come a time when your silence will echo louder than your words ever did, when your calm presence will haunt her mind more than your desperate attempts to be noticed. Because true attraction isn't built through chasing, it's built through absence, strength, and control. Women think about men who don't seek to be remembered, but cannot be forgotten. And that is where your power begins. 1. Law of attention. Every human mind is wired to seek what withdraws from it. It's not manipulation. It's psychological balance. When you're always available, her brain stops associating your presence with value. The dopamine drops, the excitement fades, and your image becomes background noise. But when you pull back, calmly, without resentment, you awaken something ancient in her. A curiosity, a craving, a question she can't answer. Why isn't he chasing me anymore? And that single question will live rent-free in her thoughts. The Stoics understood this principle long before modern psychology did. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "He who controls his desires controls others without force." By mastering your own need for attention, you silently become the center of it. 2. The energy shift. The truth is, you don't need to convince her of your worth. You just need to radiate it. When a man becomes emotionally self-sufficient, his presence changes. He no longer texts to fill silence. He no longer explains his value. He no longer seeks validation through her responses. Instead, his calm detachment becomes magnetic. Because detachment isn't about not caring, it's about caring correctly. It's about directing your energy toward what actually grows you, your mind, your body, your purpose. And when she senses that, she feels a shift she can't define. She starts to wonder, what changed in him? Why does he feel so different? That shift in your energy is what makes her think of you daily. 3. Desire without dependence. The more you depend on someone's attention, the weaker you become. But the moment you detach, not out of spite, but out of peace, you rise above need. The Stoics believed love, like all emotions, must be mastered, not suppressed, not avoided, but understood. Epictetus said, "If you want something, remind yourself that it is borrowed, not yours." That includes her attention, her affection, her presence. When you stop seeing her as a possession and start seeing her as a temporary blessing, your mind regains balance. And that balance is what she will feel, even from miles away. She'll think of you not because you remind her of yourself, but because you remind her of what peace feels like. 4. Emotional transmutation. What if I told you that her thinking about you is a side effect, not a goal? When you shift your focus from, "How can I make her think of me?" to, "How can I become the man worth thinking about?" everything changes. Transmute your emotional energy. Instead of overanalyzing her actions, analyze your purpose. Instead of replaying memories, build new achievements. When your life starts expanding, physically, mentally, and spiritually, the energy radiates from you like fire. And women are instinctively drawn to that warmth, not to your words, not to your efforts, but to your aura. That aura is the invisible force that makes her remember you when she wakes up. It's the silence that plays louder than your voice ever could. 5. Power of unpredictability. Predictability kills emotional investment. If she always knows when you'll call, text, or compliment her, her brain adjusts. But when your actions become unpredictable, yet controlled, when you're calm, yet mysterious, she can't categorize you. You become the unknown variable her mind obsesses over. She starts replaying your last conversation, wondering why you didn't reply, replaying your smile in her mind. and questioning whether she misread your silence. This isn't manipulation. This is emotional equilibrium. You've simply removed your energy from her control and placed it back into your own hands. That act alone, choosing yourself, makes you unforgettable. 6. Silence as a weapon of peace. Silence isn't emptiness. It's communication at its purest form. When she texts and you don't rush to respond, your silence speaks. When she disrespects you and you don't react, your calmness speaks louder than any argument. When she expects you to beg and you simply walk away, that silence becomes a mirror. She starts seeing herself through your peace, and it disturbs her because she realizes you were never the weak one. You were simply the one who cared without losing yourself. And that's the man women think about every single day. 7. Stoic's inner state. A true Stoic doesn't seek revenge or validation. He seeks mastery. He knows the world doesn't owe him love. It owes him nothing. And because of that, he's free. You can't be controlled by someone you no longer need approval from. That's why the calm man is dangerous. His emotions serve him, not enslave him. When you live by this principle, every interaction changes. She feels it in your tone, in your body language, in your silence. You stop playing emotional chess because you already won the game by walking away from the board. 8. The transformation. When you truly embody self-control, something profound happens. She starts to feel your absence like a presence. She'll see your name in her notifications even when you haven't texted. She'll feel a hollow space in her mind every time she tries to replace you. And every attempt will fail. Because it wasn't your words or looks that hooked her. It was your peace. Peace is addictive. And when you've given her a taste of that, she'll crave it silently. That's how she'll think of you daily. Not through tricks, but through transformation. 9. Rule of detachment. Detachment is not indifference. It's self-respect in its highest form. When you stop chasing, you stop bleeding energy. You stop begging the world to give you what you already possess, worth. You stop reacting to temporary emotions. Instead, you choose to be the observer, not the participant. You observe her actions without judgment. You observe your own mind without reaction. You become still, and in that stillness, you become powerful. That's when she'll begin to chase memories of you that no longer exist. Because you've evolved, and she's still trying to reach the version of you that outgrew her. 10. Man. She can't forget. Don't make her think of you by force. Make her think of you by presence. Not the presence of your messages, but the presence of your discipline, your silence, and your unbothered peace. She will think of you daily when she realizes you didn't leave because you stopped caring. You left because you finally started respecting yourself. And respect, that's something no woman forgets. The greatest revenge is not anger, but indifference born from strength. Live by this truth, and you won't need to make her think of you, because she already will. Subscribe for more powerful Stoicism and psychology. Comment Stoic if you agree.